Michael, would it be possible to start with an update on the fitness of Roofe?
Yeah, he's away for a scan, so no news on that one at the minute. So he didn't train today with the rest of the team.
Optimism levels from you in terms of this weekend?
No, listen, until we get the news back from the scan, we don't know really what we're dealing with. Obviously, it's disappointing for Kamar because he came back into the team and did so well until the other night. And listen, this is hope it's nothing too serious and he'll be available in the short term rather than the long term.
Sorry, just for final clarification tomorrow though.
No, at this moment in time, it's too soon. Yeah.
How frustrating is this? I know we've been here before, but in terms of trying to find any sort of rhythm and give you maximum choices in the forward areas.
Yeah, it's frustrating because he's such a big player and such a very good player that it's hard because he's not been available as much as he likes now for free managers. You know, not just myself. And yeah, look, it looked like he was in a really good place. He was contributing well. So let's just hope he's just felt a niggle and come out. But you know, the right thing is to get the scan, and he's off for that this afternoon.
How do you ensure that it's an exciting opportunity for others to come and show what they can do rather than an extra burden on them to carry the can?
Well, listen, I think it's important. Like Kamar's not been in the goals as much. You know, the other strikers have scored more goals this season. It's another opportunity for them. It's a busy schedule. We was going to have to use the squad anyway. Certainly in the forward areas is the main areas we're depleted. We've got good cover across the back. We've got 10 fit defenders at the moment, and if you wanted to shuffle the pack around a bit, you'd like to have one or two of your forwards fit. But it is what it is. It's Aberdeen's fourth game in the last 8, 9, 10 days as well, or whatever it is. So both teams coming into this game this weekend have the same issues in terms of recovery and playing again, and then we have a nice break really until we play away at Limassol.
Does this recent spell perhaps serve as a learning curve to the new players, that not only is it a big reaction when results don't go well, but even when you do win matches, it's sometimes not necessarily enough to satisfy everyone?
I think they've just got to focus on their daily work in-house and their role in the team, and then if they perform well in their role in the team, everything will take care of itself. And the outside noise and opinion's always going to be there 360, as you say, when you win, but even louder when maybe you don't do so well.
Michael, how important is it to build on Wednesday night? You said after the game it's just about winning games, but is performance important this weekend as well?
Yeah, but listen, you have to define what a good performance is. So, clean sheets and defending are part of a good performance. Sometimes we don't think that because we want to be in full control, but games of football, there's always going to be difficult moments in. That's why I was so pleased the other night that in a quarter-final, I don't think Livingston had a shot of no on target, which in any game of football is a difficult thing to do because of set plays and teams can be a little bit direct. So that's part of a good performance as well. And so, if we define a performance as free-flowing, attacking football and scoring 3 or 4 goals every week, that's a different way of looking at it. So I think tomorrow, where we're at this moment in time, of course we want to perform well, but the points are the most important thing. And with the players we got out, it's important that we're strong defensively and that we create chances with the forwards that we've got. We don't have a number of players in the final third that are a big part of what we're trying to do. That's just obvious for everyone to see right now.
The team has been so strong defensively so far this season, but when you speak a lot, you say you want it to be fluid, free-flowing, attacking football. Have you been surprised by how impressive your defence has been? And does it mean you perhaps need to focus a bit more on the attack, or is it just the way the things are going in your coaching?
No, listen, I think a good team's always built off a solid foundation defensively. I think in Europe for the last while we've not always been strong defensively, so it was so good to get the clean sheet against Betis, who were a dangerous team. Domestically, we've had clean sheets and we've only conceded the odd ones here and there, which even those goals we would probably look back on with disappointment about the way they went in. So far so good. I think we're having the least shots on our goal. Our goalie's doing well, but at this moment in time he's facing the least shots, which means the team in front of him is also doing well.
Just finally from me, on Aberdeen themselves, do you expect them to come at you a bit more than other teams have at Ibrox this season? And if that is the case, can that play into your hands? Can they create more space for your attackers to find?
Well, I think they're a team that's built around their front two. that are good players for sure. They've come off an important week for them. I thought they performed very well in Europe in a defeat, but in terms of the performance, we'll give them a lot of encouragement. And then they've beat Ross County twice this week. So they come into it the same as us, but their front two obviously have caused us problems in the past as well from last season. So the games have always been close. We know there's a little bit of edge in the air, would say, between the fans, which is healthy as well, I think.
Michael, you've had 4 clean sheets, I think it is, since Ben Davies came back into the team. You spoke about him after the Betis game. What's he given you and how's he impressed you since he came back into the team?
I think after the international break, or during the international break, it was an area that we wanted to look at. Obviously, we'd just conceded goals in big games that were partly our doing. So as a whole group, there was a focus on our out of possession, our pressing, our shape, our distances. And there's been a lot of focus on the team's rhythm in possession. But a lot of that, we had to allow those relationships, and we still are, to form. But defensively, we feel we could pull ourselves together as a team. So I've been pleased with that. Ben coming back in has been part of that. The reason he hadn't played prior was he come into the ended last season with an injury, come back to pre-season with a separate one. So he's only been available for these games. He's been knocking the games out. I've been pleased with him, but it's been a team effort as well. It's not just him, it's been a full team effort.
You spoke about Nico Raskin and Kieran Dowell when they could be back at the weekend. Any update on how Todd Campbell and Danilo are getting on when we could see them again?
Yeah, I think there's no change on either of them. Obviously, Danilo's one. He's still not been back to see the consultant yet, so I'll have more news after that. He had to wait a couple of weeks after the surgery, which is not until the middle or the start of next week. Todd's not back with the group yet. Nico's back out with the rehab team. Kieran Dowell joined in very, very light training this morning, but the weekend's far too soon.
John Lawrence is here also after the international break?
Yeah, at this moment the same, yeah.
After the game midweek, Abdullah was saying how much he was looking for a confidence boost after getting goals, and he got that the other night. Do you feel that's what maybe a couple of other lads need, a confidence boost?
Yeah, listen, I think goals per minute, Cyril's done well and Seema's done well, and Danilo before he got injured had done well, as good as anybody in the league. Would they like to have done more, and if they have opportunities to do more? Yeah, I think so, and I think they would agree with that. But where we are right now is Cyril, Abdullah and Sam have an opportunity to play, and through that we'll give them rhythm for sure. I thought Sam was very good first half the other night. I thought Abdullah was, in moments of the game, his pace and his direct running was very, very important to the match as well. And so, look, there's opportunities for them. I think Cifuentes is getting stronger the more he gets to know the team. I thought the midfield functioned well the other night. It was nice to see Ridvan come back in, a heck of a goal really, which I didn't really mention after the game, but his first goal for Rangers, it was a fantastic goal, and he showed the difference really, what he brings to the team to Borna. Having said that, I thought Borna's pass for our third goal was a particularly good pass as well. So we seem to have some strength in that area at left back, and I keep telling everyone at some point I need to give him the opportunity to show it. Dujon Sterling's a heck of a player as well, who's obviously competing with James Tavernier. So in the fullback positions, I feel we've got strength right now.
So have you got a decision to make at left back?
I've got a decision to make, yeah. I think they're both, Borna went away with a niggle that hasn't really gone away, and then Ridvan's picking up on his fitness. It's one that we're managing. I think we'll continue to manage that probably up to the international break with the two of them, to be honest. We'll have to be careful when we play either one.
Just on Ben Davies, Michael, there was a bit of noise in the summer that he could be leaving, perhaps alone or permanently. How close was that?
With Ben, when I came into the club, he played probably the first 17, 18 games straight out, and our record in that time, if you remember, was very, very strong. So he built a relationship with Connor very quickly. Towards the end of the season, he was injured. He come back to pre-season with another injury. There was a lot of noise in the air about us looking for another left-sided centre-half, and I think people got confused with thinking we wanted to replace Ben. We just wanted another left-side centre-half, because when he was injured in the first half of last season and at the end of the season, we was having to play people on their wrong side, and I wanted the left foot balance. But my relationship with Ben's always been strong. We had some honest conversations about where he can improve, but as he said himself, it was never in the plan to sell. And also you have to have an offer that you think is right. I think every player at a club in Scotland, if the offer's right, then you're listening. But there was never an offer that ever got anywhere near it. And Ben was just focusing on getting fit, if I'm honest. Yeah, the interest wasn't there, and Ben wanted to be here, which was a key thing for me as well coming into this season. It was a season of a lot of change, and I wanted to make sure they had the right people in the building. And I think when Ben's played, I don't think anyone can question him. I think his performances in the last 4 games have been excellent, and he's shown his worth. And so all that noise, I think, needs to, or will, if he continues to play like that, the noise will obviously disappear, because everyone can see he's a key part. And as I say, the first 20 games I was here should have proven that, really, because he played in every one of them.
Going back to Kayla, Michael, did he play with an injury for part of the first half?
Listen, I think when I spoke to him after the game, he said he felt it halfway through the first half, and I would like him to hold his hand up. Then he felt he could continue on, but at half-time, I asked him if there was an issue, and he said yes. And so then we come out and take no risk with him. It wasn't a typical Kamar performance. I thought, obviously, Sam and Abdullah were getting more touches than him, and he was a bit quiet in the game, and that's obvious. He was obviously a bit stiff in his groin, which is not an area that's ever been an issue before. So it is what it is. And listen, with the schedule and the amount of games that we're playing, these things, that's why you have a squad. These things will appear from time to time.
Is it just his injury record, do you think, that forced him to play on, if you like, pushed him through when he may well have come off? Had he been another player, if you like?
I don't know. I think he knows the moment the team's living in. It's a quarter-final and he wants the team to do well. I'm sure if he felt he had to stop, he would have stopped. But Kamar's an experienced player, and he gets to half-time and then he has the conversation, no problem. We have Cyril to come on, but we're a bit light in those areas. It's a quarter-final, as he sat here the day before and told you, well, it's a competition he was desperate to win. So I don't think he wanted to come off until we get to the stoppage and we have the conversation.
Michael, there was a big goal midweek from Alex Lowry out on loan at Hearts. Just want to know what you've made of his loan spell at Hearts so far.
I spoke to Stephen Naismith at length before he went out to make sure it was right for Stephen and for Hearts, but also importantly for us, for Alex. It was a chance for him to go and play in the league at a big club and showcase what he's got. I thought he started ever so well. I've not followed or asked the reasons why he's not played as much of late, but I think obviously they're fighting for a bit of form, and with their schedule around Europe. I went last week to the St Mirren game, he didn't get on, and obviously he got on in the last minute and scored almost straight away. So he's learning what it's like to be fighting for a shirt. He's learning what it's like to be outside the confines of Rangers, which I think is really important for him growing up as a young man and a young football player. And I think in moments he's shown that he's got, real good promise. And other moments he's shown that he needs to improve and learn and fight and earn a shirt. And all of that that's going on is brilliant for Alex Lowry.
Michael, just on the margin of the victory against Livingston and the performance, how important was that for you going forward, for the group going forward into the international break?
Yeah, I think, look, we're in the middle of a big schedule. We're focused on the next game. It's pleasing what's gone before in terms of the 4 results and the clean sheets. And it was nice to score a couple of late goals. The game was very similar to the previous game against Livingston, where they tried to make it hard for us for long periods. And when they opened up in the second half to chase the game, both in the league game and the cup game, the bigger space gave us an area to punish them. So I was pleased with it. Pleased for Ryan Jack scoring late in the game as well. And all around, what the game proved the other day is when Livingston sat in, they can make it difficult for you. When they come a bit higher, Abdullah's speed was always going to be a problem for us, and it's good that we've got the variety like that.